Welcome to the show, man. This is Uncle P. This is the Cultivating Mature Positivity Podcast. And we're brought to you by Reworld, New Foundation Property Solutions, Casey Electric, and as soon as I get my man's logo up here, I got him. But Quan Knox Visual, man. This is cmpradio.net. I am your host, Jean-Pierre Bryce, and on today's podcast, we have a Chester resident, former Chester resident or current Chester resident. She's from the city of Chester. She became a realtor, right? And she's selling houses, but she wants to give you the information that you need to buy the house that you want. Now, Uncle P has bad credit. Uncle P has never bought a house before. So I'm going to sit here and I'm really going to listen, right, to the questions and the answers and try to get some information that I've never received before. Listen, they are doing a great service to our community. So let's go ahead and add them in. Hello.
Hi. Hello, everyone.
How are you feeling today?
I am feeling good. I'm excited. Thank you so much for having us.
Oh, no problem. Listen, when I saw your flyer and I saw what you were doing, I said, listen, you can come through and talk about it on the radio station. That's what this radio station is built for, right? Opening lanes of communication across our community, talking to the people that have the resources and talking to the people that need the resources. So I want you to introduce yourself one at a time. And how long have you been in the housing market or the housing game?
Sure. So hello, good evening, everyone. I am, a Chester native. I have been in real estate. Now I am embarking on year 4 as being an active full-time realtor. I've been in real estate prior to that in different capacities, but as a full-time realtor, I am just about year 4.
And I'm Darlene Morton. I'm the principal broker here at Maverick Realty. I've been in real estate for a very long time. I want to say over 15 years and counting.
So, Christina, when I saw you were out putting out flyers, telling everybody about your event. Let's talk about your event real quick. Let me get the flyer up.
Okay.
Bang, there it is, right? So it's everything you need to buy your next home all in one place. Explain this.
Absolutely. So again, thank you so much. So I have decided to kind of do this event. Everything you need. A lot of people that I meet throughout the course of the day or throughout the course of a transaction, they want to purchase. However, for whatever reason, they have reservations. They don't know where to start. They're confused about the process. They have credit concerns, or the process itself just seems so unattainable. So I figured if I bring all the resources to one location and I invite everyone to this location, like a party, like an old school house party, at that point, everyone has everything they need. And I feel that I'll be able to equip them with becoming a homeowner. So that's my part of one of my whys. The other one kind of goes into why Chester City currently are about 68% of our housing markets are rentals. And that's substantially more than what the county or even the nation's average is. So to me, that's extremely alarming, extremely concerning. So when we talk about moving the city forward, that's one of the pillars that we definitely need to consider, equipping people to become homeowners opposed to renting.
Absolutely. So what's going to happen is I have a brother. He's out in Atlanta. He's always talking about his homes with Nasir. I don't know if you know Nasir Young. He's a good brother. I'm gonna try to get y'all too. So I don't understand the conversation he be giving me when he be talking about buying a home, right? Because I feel like I'm young-minded, but I'm willing to learn, right? And I think that's a lot of the population in the city of Chester, right? We don't want to be yelled at and talked about buying houses. We want people to want to explain it in a way that we can understand and do better. So for someone like me who has who has a credit score of, let's say, I'm not going to say what my credit score is.
Here, we won't even put the number out here, but we can help.
Right, 550. You can help me.
We can help you.
Absolutely.
Oh wow. Okay. All right. So let's get into the question. Why do you think home ownership is still one of the most important wealth building tools for families today?
So you want to take that question?
Well, sure. What people don't realize, when you're paying rent, that rent is going to that landlord and you're never going to see that money again. When you own a home, you're building generational wealth, because that money that you pay the bank, well, a portion of it, a portion of it goes, it's like a bank account for you. It's called equity. And when you build equity, 30 years later, every piece of money that goes towards your principal balance, that's your money now. So if you sell that house 30 years later, if you bought a $200,000, $300,000, $500,000 house, 30 years later, when you go to sell, you cash that out. And the nice thing about it, what people don't realize, there's no capital gains if you're making $250,000 for a single person. A married couple, you cash out $500,000, no tax. Why would you give your money to a landlord instead of building generational wealth for yourself? Just think of it as you're living in your bank.
I think when we hear about that, it piques our interest, right? But we really don't know how to buy a house or where we should buy a good house. You're talking about 30 years living in the house. Most of us can't keep a car longer than a year when we go to the lot, right? So
take COVID, for instance. Properties were going up 25% a month in COVID. Okay, in a house, you may stay for 5 years and decide, hey, I want a bigger house, or hey, maybe I want to rent this out and buy another one. And then that rent actually becomes your rental. You're the landlord, and you're still building wealth while going to another property that you might like better, and then make that your second bank. So some people have one bank, or some people have two banks. Some people have 50 banks, 50 houses. You can build your portfolio of having your own bank all over town.
It's an asset. So essentially, whether you stay there for the 30 years, and average people don't. On average, the trend is between 5 to 7 years. So even if you elect to start your portfolio, like my broker said, with a single family or even a duplex. My very first property was a multifamily. My thing is start. The key is to start building generational wealth. Don't wait until you think you're ready 5 years, 10 years from now, because all of that equity you've essentially just lost because you've given that money to the landlord. You're paying the landlord's mortgage.
Pretty much.
Start paying yourself. That's what we want you to do. Start paying yourself instead of the landlord.
Many people feel overwhelmed by the home buying process. What are the first 3 steps someone should take if they want to buy a home?
So what I would say is the first 3 steps. The first step is to give me a call. Give me a call. So that would be the first step, is to seek out a professional that you trust.
Right.
The second thing is to connect with a lender. A lot of people want to buy a home, but they don't know the conditions of their credit or really what they can afford. So I would say one would be find a professional realtor. The second would be to connect with a lender to determine your qualifications. And the next, I say the third loosely, is to kind of have a full assessment. I guess it goes hand in hand with 2, is really looking at your savings. Are you at a position that you've saved enough? And maybe exploring options for down payment assistance, seeing what you qualify for. So I guess that's 2 or 3, kind of depending on the way you look at it. But that's where I would say I would start. The first conversation would definitely be with a professional realtor.
Savings. How much do I have to have saved to buy, depending on the house that I want to buy, right? So let's just say if a house costs $200,000, how much money do I have to put down on the house?
Well, I don't want you to get focused on that, because there are some options where you can buy 0 down. So before you stress yourself out, depending on how much I need, come have a conversation, because there are some options. There are some
with bad credit, 0 down with bad credit.
Listen, come have a conversation.
It starts with the conversation.
Yes.
It does, but don't. Okay, all right. I'm gonna come and talk to you.
So, so there are some options. So before you stress yourself out about that number, Let's determine what fits for you. And then we can have a conversation, how much you would need in terms of down payment, how much you would need for closing. And then we'll see what programs you qualify for.
Okay. All right. I was just going to ask what credit score is typically needed to buy a home. Are there programs? And you just answered that, right? So can you explain what down payment assistance is and how someone qualifies for that?
So that's kind of a twofold question. Down payment assistance essentially covers, depending on who is providing the down payment assistance, sometimes it covers just that, the down payment. Sometimes it could go towards the down payment and or closing costs. So it really depends on what the guidelines of that down payment program is. Sometimes the down payment is free money, meaning you don't have to pay it back. There's no strings attached. However, sometimes the program comes with what's called as a silent second, meaning there is a loan or note connected to the mortgage, and you would need to stay there for a specific length of time. So there's a lot. I can't give you one general answer in terms of what's the because it really depends on what down payment assistance option kind of fits your needs, if that makes sense. Would you?
Now, I heard a down payment and a closing cost.
Yes. Yes.
What is a closing cost?
You want to take that one?
Yeah. So think of it like buying a vehicle, right? When you go to buy a vehicle, and it's maybe a $20,000 car. Is that all you pay when you leave the dealership? No. There are fees involved, right? Title, registration, whatever, insurance, all these fees you have to pay. So when you're buying a house, the closing costs includes the attorney fees, lender fees, insurance, transfer taxes that you have to pay when you purchase a home. So it's just the costs involved in turning that deed over to you.
Okay. All right. I have a question. So I'm just saying, if I was to buy a house, and let's just say I was to get sick after moving into the house, and I was to pass away, is there insurance I could take out to protect the house so that the house I'm not sick at the time that I bought the house, but 3 or 4 months in, I get sick. Is there insurance that you can get? Is there a home buyer insurance you can get to protect the house, or would it pay some of the payments, or how would that work?
Well, I'm sure there's insurance for a lot of
Different scenarios,
but you would have to talk to an insurance broker for that.
So we try not to lean in areas that
we do have an insurance broker you can talk with. I can.
Okay. All right. Yeah, I'm just trying to think about how do you protect the house, right? Because it's a big ticket item, right?
Right. Absolutely.
And it takes a lot, and you don't know what's going to happen, right? That tomorrow isn't promised. On the flyer, you mentioned creative financing options. What does creating financing actually mean?
So creative financing means sometimes you may have your freelancers, such as yourself, your self-employed, your students. There are individuals that have housing choice vouchers. So there are programs and options available pretty much for the majority of the population. People that don't think that they qualify, there are loan products designed for them. So VA specifically, I do a lot of VA home loans. A lot of veterans don't even know that they qualify. So it was just definitely a little difficult to list out every single option, but that's kind of what the creative means, something off of your standard people that work W-2 jobs. So your freelancers, your students, there are products and options available for you too.
Okay.
I want to circle back to the insurance.
Yeah. Please.
I did forget, there is mortgage insurance that you can purchase.
Okay.
That's
okay. So that's what I was thinking more of it on a life insurance type of policy, but you were saying if you fell sick. So there is mortgage insurance that you can purchase.
Okay. Awesome.
Yeah.
Earlier you were talking about self-employed individuals. How can I, myself, being self-employed, qualify for a home loan if my income isn't traditional?
So that's kind of what the creative options are. We have some lenders do what's considered as bank statement loans. There are some other options where it would be a little higher, like what's considered as stated income. So sometimes they can look at like just different options, whether it's I don't know. I don't want to get kind of too much into your personal business, but even though people that are self-employed, they still file taxes.
Right.
So there's a rate. It really depends on what your specific situation is. And then we would have a conversation, you and I, and then depending on really what your scenario is, we would have a conversation with a lender that I think would fit your scenario the best, if that makes sense. So everyone wouldn't necessarily fit with the same lender. So my goal is on that flyer, there are a few different lenders that will be present. There are a few other lenders that unfortunately I didn't have permission to use their logo, so I didn't advertise them. That will be there. I just want everyone that may come to have different options based on their specific, scenario.
Absolutely. With interest rates changing, is now a good time to buy a home?
It's always a good time to buy. The reason that I say it's always a good time, and it sounds like a used car salesperson.
Right.
Is what you want to do is you want to find the home that you love, and once the rates go down, because they will, then you refinance.
Okay.
However, you wait until the interest rates go down, you create competition for yourself. So while you're sitting on the sideline waiting for the interest rates to go down, guess what? 500 other people that's in your same price point, they're waiting too.
Right.
So it makes sense that let's get out there now where the interest rates may not necessarily be ideal, but guess what? We can find the home and negotiate some seller's assist or some things like that from the seller to help bring down some costs. So it's always a good.
Seller's assist, what's that?
So seller's assist, essentially, the seller is not able to help towards your down payment, but the seller can assist with going towards your closing costs. So depending on your loan product, the seller can contribute up to 6%, which in some cases could cover all your closing costs.
Right. Okay. I didn't know that the person selling the house could help the buyer. I didn't know. That's I like that though. That's definitely dope.
Another thing about the interest rate, if you wait till it's low, there will be more buyers than there are sellers. And the sellers won't help you with the closing costs because they'll have a whole pool of buyers to choose from. So when the interest rates are the way they are now, this is when you want to really jump in and get your house because the sellers are looking for buyers and they're a little bit more desperate than they would be if the interest rates were lower. And they have.
And then normally what we've seen historically is the sellers know that. So they will increase the price of their home. So essentially what you thought you were saving, you're going to pay it on the back end. But we say it's always a good time to buy. A lot of buyers think we're used car salesmen. So unfortunately, that's not the case. It's just that we're educated and we want to kind of educate the community why now is a good time to buy.
What other services or what other services will you be talking about at this event?
So the event, just so we understand and set the tone, it's pretty much just a freestyle event. So my goal is I will be there with all of my lender partners, my awesome broker, she'll be there as well. It's pretty much just freestyle. I want you to come in, feel comfortable. So it's not a lecture. It's not any of that. I want you to come, get the resources, have the takeaway. And at that point, we'll schedule a follow-up. I want to equip you with the information that you need. I don't want to really overwhelm you, feel like you need to sit from 10 to 2. No, my goal is to give you the information, equip you with the resources that you need, and schedule a follow-up and create a plan of action.
Mm-hmm.
Individual plan of action.
Yep.
It's
2 years, but let's start. That's the goal, is to start.
When we think about community impacts, we think about, if I bought a house, I really wouldn't want to leave Chester. You know what I mean? Like I'm good where I'm at, right? So, how does increasing home ownership impact communities like Chester?
So one specifically is the tax base, definitely. And I think when you have, again, this is just my opinion, I can't state it to be factual, but when you have people that are more vested in the community, not saying Chester residents aren't, but when you pay taxes and you essentially own what you live in, I think you're a little bit more vested in terms of what happens. I think people may show up a little bit more. They may voice a little bit more of concern. Not saying, again, no offense to any of the residents that are renting. I do believe Chester absolutely, what Chester makes Chester. But I think that if you see see where the ownership increase and the renters decrease, I think that would eliminate some of the issues that we have within the city.
Okay. All right. What are some common mistakes first-time home buyers make that people really should avoid?
Ooh. It's a list of those. One is switching jobs in the process. Do not switch your jobs. Do not switch your jobs. I would say another one is obtaining credit. You know, whether you're going to get a new car because now you see your credit score is 700. Don't open and inquire any new debt. Don't do it. And I guess the third top would be just maintaining your current credit status. Don't be late on anything. Don't try to take your credit cards over the limit. Just kind of stay steady where you're at. Once the lender does that soft pull, you want to make sure you stay at that current state, because any late payment can kind of throw the whole deal off. So I would say that would be my top three. What about you?
That's about right. First-time home buyers, don't
go looking for a credit card.
no matter what your credit is right now,
Yeah.
you really should call us to talk about
the options.
talking with the lender, because then you can get your game plan ready as a first-time home buyer. You may not be ready to buy for another year, another 2 years.
Yeah.
But at least when you do get ready to buy, you know what the game plan, what the roadmap is. Let us give that to you.
And you're educated. And,
Yes.
and then you won't make those mistakes.
Exactly.
Kind of going in. And sometimes people, do things now and don't realize the impact that it could be for another 12 months. We may have to wait 12 months because of that late. So that's
or may not. We can teach you how to get around that. Just call us.
Me and Nasir always talk about because the reason for the radio station is education, right? Being able to sit here and talk about the things that we need to know, from civics to financial education to financial empowerment. How important is financial education before purchasing a house?
So I'll start and then I'll let Darlene finish. So 2 of the program's partners that will be there are housing counselors. I think it's crucial that people truly understand finances, understand what they can afford, live kind of within their means, and not necessarily having payment shocks. Sometimes people are living with family and now you're going to a $2,000 mortgage. So just really understanding how much you can really afford and putting things in perspective.
And the bank will approve you.
For a
Let's
number.
say for $200,000, $300,000, but you may not be ready for that yet. Although your income looks like you're ready for it, but maybe you're not ready for that. Maybe you just need to stay at 150. You don't have to go to that high max. Don't start looking at houses at the 2
max.
and 3 at the max.
Yeah.
When maybe just maybe 3/4 of that amount.
So what she's is understanding what that comfort number is for you. So despite the fact what you've been pre-approved for, you may say, Chris, I really want to keep my payments around $1,500, no more than $2,000. So 9 times out of 10, we're not going to go to what the lender's pre-approved us for. We're going to kind of look a little lower.
And tell the lender what your expectation is.
Being transparent.
If you want to have a $1,500 payment, tell the lender that's what you're comfortable with. Yeah.
Right.
And they'll get your approval based off of that.
Okay. All right. What can the people that plan to attend expect to learn, expect to walk away with after attending this workshop?
So what they can expect to learn is the resources. Believe it or not, there are so many resources that will be available. Resources that I'm kind of blown away that a lot of people just don't know about. So I want to make sure that at the end of the day, I can say that at least I have touched exponent number of people and I've been able to provide them with these resources. And then they can take the resources back to their said communities and each one teaches one, and then it'll come back.
Right. Okay. Is there anything you want to say?
Anything I want to say? I want to say, listen, I want to tell you, if you're watching now or watching on the record, just come on out. Make sure the event again is April 4th at Chichester Community Center. I will be there from 10 to 2. I am excited. I can't wait to see you guys set up an action plan and begin really working with you. Don't be intimidated. I don't care what your situation is. We are extremely transparent. Your business is your business, and I will work with you every single step of the way. So don't be embarrassed because I don't think I'm ready. My credit's bad. Don't let that stop you. Come on out to the event. Let's laugh, let's joke, let's cry, but let's get to the closing table. So I'm excited.
Even if you're getting government assistance for your housing,
I forgot about that.
Don't count yourself out.
Yeah.
Come to the event, find out your roadmap as well, because you may have some assistance that can help you buy a house.
Yep. So housing choice, if you know anyone that has housing choice and they are considering buying, make sure their face is in the place as well.
Specifically in Chester City.
Chester City, yep.
Yeah.
Yeah, so come on.
Yeah. Like I didn't know.
But so just a quick question, Pierre. So you said you're in a position where you give out information, and just think, if you don't know, how many other people don't know?
Don't know. Right.
Don't know.
Right.
And that's our goal, to kind of each one teach one. And hopefully that we'll be able to, increase the home ownership, eradicate poverty, and change the city.
Yes. Let's do that. Christina, I appreciate you for taking the time to come through and do this show with me.
Absolutely. Thank you for having us.
Absolutely.
Okay, register, Pierre. I will be looking for your name on that pre-registration. I want to make sure you're there.
I won't be there.
Oh,
I'm not ready yet. I'm not ready yet.
You're not ready.
This is what we're talking about.
Yes, people think that they're not ready.
I'm definitely not ready. I know for a fact I'm not ready yet.
This is not for people that are ready.
Yeah,
this is for people to get ready.
Yes. And it could be 2 years. You could be a 2-year planner.
You'll be coming out to get the roadmap to your future. Yeah. Individual roadmaps. That's what we're handing out.
Come on, Pierre. I want to make sure you're there.
So if you have the mindset, I'm not ready. Yep. How are you gonna get ready? You got to start somewhere. Yeah. And then start by getting the information. Come on out and see us.
April 4th.
That's right.
I'll be there. It's a Saturday. I'll be there. I don't have anything to do.
Seeing you. Yeah. And
I'll be there.
Feel like they're not ready. This is not for people that are ready. Yeah. Ready people probably already have a realtor and a pre-approved, and they've already gotten what they need to get. All right. Come on out and find out.
All right. April 4th, I'll be there. I know y'all be there. I hope everyone watching, I hope everybody that will see this live will be there as well. You heard what they said to me. If I'm not ready, I should be there anyway, just so I can get ready.
That's right.
Roadmap. All right, the roadmap. I'll be there. I appreciate this. I want y'all to have a great day, a great time. Anything you want to say before we get up out of here?
No, just register. And if you're driving down 95 South, past Highland before Market, if you see my billboard, just give me a little bit of love. So I am on a big billboard, 95 South. So just take a look. Your girl has definitely worked very, very hard to get all this information out to as many people as possible. So I look forward to seeing everyone.
No, you got me up here registered. I got it upstairs. I'm sitting there trying to take a picture on it.
Yes, and don't come alone. That's the other important thing. Do not come alone. You have to come with someone.
Yes. You want me to bring somebody?
And not come by yourself. You have to come. Yes. You have to bring someone. That's the admissions. Everything's free, but you got to bring someone.
There's so much information to just keep it all to yourself.
Yeah.
All right, I got you. I'll bring someone. I appreciate it. I appreciate y'all doing this. I appreciate y'all talking about it. And like I said, that option for, a quick we did a half an hour podcast. You see how quick that is?
Yeah.
Right? Where you're just talking about home buying and you're talking to different people, right? We could do that. That way the information is here, right? I say it has to be given to people steady every day. Not every day, but once a week, right? A half an hour, come through and do it. So just think about it. You feel me? I would love to host y'all and allow y'all to do what y'all do.
And maybe we could just break down the process a little bit.
One last thing for the people that can't make it. Yeah, information is available by calling Christina anytime.
Yes.
Email her. She has the information if you can't make it to the event.
So phone number? 302-577-0614. And there's her email, Christina Chambers at MaverickRealtyUSA.com.
Now, no one has an excuse.
Yep.
Nobody.
If you can't make it out, you still contact her.
Right.
Thank you so much.
No problem. I truly appreciate y'all. Listen, man, this is CMPRadio.net. This was the Cultivating Mature Positivity Podcast. I appreciate everybody for tuning in. I appreciate everybody for rocking out with us. You already know. But listen, I know this weekend everybody be out. Let's think about this, right? Are you curious about the air quality around Chester City? Learn about air quality and see data at tinyurl.com/DEP air quality monitoring, man. And this Saturday, March 28th, from 11 a.m. to 3 p.m., they'll be at the Cat Center, 2300 West 4th Street, Chester, Pennsylvania. Spring Festival, free food, games, music, and an update on local air quality. Let's get there. Let's be there. Let's become a part of our community and say what's good and what's bad, man. CMPRadio.net. Listen, I want to thank the good people over there at Maverick Realty for taking the time to explain what they're doing, and they're doing their event.
Yes.
Let's get that back up there one last time. Right. Everything you need to buy your next home all in one place for Pennsylvania and Delaware home buyers. What's available? First-time home buyer programs, down payment assistance options, creative financing, listen, self-employed VA home loans, and what's that? DSCR?
Yes.
What's that? What's a DSCR loan?
You want to break it down? The debt
Well,
service
the debt service
ratio loan.
credit ratio. So let's say someone like yourself, you want to get maybe a 3-unit building that's already rented out. What happens is some lenders, well, there are loans that can help you get qualified for a house using the income the property's
Already
bringing
bringing in.
Mm.
Mm-hmm.
So
See, there you go. You didn't know that. So come on.
I did know that. Okay. All right. Well, like I said, Christina, if I said I'm gonna be there, I'm gonna be there. I'll come out.
There's
I'll
my
come
son. Hey, Sean. Hey, I'm Dave.
I'll definitely come out and listen and see how I can become a home buyer before I'm 50. I'm 46 now, so
Let's do it. We can do it. Let's do it.
right. I need that. But thank you. I appreciate you.
Absolutely.
And everybody that watch, everybody that listen, everybody that's gonna listen in the future. Have a great night.
Yes.
On purpose,
Yes.
with purpose. And we're out of here.
Good night.
CMPRadio.net. I'm trying to find. See, this is why I don't do this stuff. CMPRadio.net. It's the station. Listen, man, let's cultivate together. Bring us all your show ideas. Content creators, we're looking for that. Videographers, we're looking for that. You can be a part of the next great big thing that takes place right here in Chester, Pennsylvania. Let's cultivate together, man.
get that. How could you forget that?